Show us your tips. Midweek preview time. Daggy and Beaver back with you to get stuck into Warwick Farm and Sandown this afternoon. How are you travelling, mate?
Travelling pretty good, mates. Some good weather out there after some rain on Monday, but the track's good after some nice drying weather and some interesting racing.
Yeah, beautiful day in Sydney town. Very quickly, anything out of the weekend?
Anything out of the weekend? What was it? Moonee Valley was kind of interesting track again. It looked to later in the day, particularly, well, most of the day you had to be on the inside, but those horses on pace and leading were just too hard to run down. Anything sort of sitting outside was never going to get past the leader.
I think you get the double whammy at Moonee Valley because they go so slow down there as well. Everyone just lines up, and
Yes.
so you can't make ground, and no one wants to try and make ground. So it's just self-fulfilling.
And the insides that
That's right.
go. You know, you look at the last races. Deny Knowledge was just absolutely killed them. I think some of the races, what was before that, in the sprint, Accra, N2, well, both of those in the last two. Yeah, they both just led comfortably, and they actually just put a space in them. It was ridiculous.
But the thing is, none of that.
I don't think those horses are that much better than the others.
That's my point. To me, you just ignore everything out of the meeting. Go, it happened, and you look at the rest of the form.
You can't follow the Moonee Valley form.
I thought, I still want to follow interpretation. I thought that was a good run against the pattern.
Excellent run.
And I said it. Maybe that was even the flat run. So I think 2,400 metre next time, wherever he's going, whatever's next.
Yep.
Blamey or something.
100%.
Follow that. And Tom Kitten was good. I don't think that sprint race was particularly strong, and he won that as a miler.
No. Yes.
So I will follow him up to 13, 14, 15 and beyond. Nice horse. There's not even a great deal out of that rest of that Sydney meeting I follow. I think we've got our couple of winners, and that was it.
I think that's right.
Smashing Eagle given no chance. A few things like that. But
yeah. He was hitting the line hard there. It was a good run.
Yeah. Anyway, let's nothing else you want to mention?
Nothing else, mate. Let's get into today.
We got Warwick Farm. Beautiful day in City Town, as mentioned. Rails true. The track is good. And last time we had this set up, I think it was in March, and it played pretty fair. So that's how I'm treating it. Sometimes you can get the worry of on pace there when it gets real dry, but let's treat this all as fair for now. Kick off in the first, a 1,400 metre maiden. We've lost one of the chances, but I was keen on the two Waller runners. We've got one left, and I'm going to back it, Mojave Desert. We had an opinion of that when we were tipping it when it went south. It didn't go, not everything went well down there, but it's come back up. It's trialled really well. And with J-Mac on, I think it can kick off and go on to better things. From Sailwolf, who debuted well and step up in distance suits. Beaver, how have you seen the first?
Yeah, good little race. I've gone for Dimitrov, the up and running one. I'm really scared of Mojave Desert, as you say, but I'm going for Dimitrov. The couple of scratching brings it into 8. I think that sets up well. And I think the form behind coincides pretty good. And it ran on nicely from midfield at Canterbury last start. So up to the 1,400 here, I think it can run really well.
No, fair call too. The second is a 1,200 metre benchmark 64. What have you done here?
Yeah, this is a little bit of a tricky race here, but I'm going for the blue colours, the Cummings Masira. As a ran down in Moonee Valley, wasn't a bad run, and so I'm not worried too much about that form. And then I thought prior to that, at Flemington was pretty good. Behind Exploring, this is weaker company midweek. Inside Gate, I think it can get the sit and be hard to beat.
I've lost my main chances. Which leaves me with just Gisela on top. Debuted in a reasonable race, put out, and then came back and won that at Hawkesbury in second gear. As you know, I'm not one much for Hawkesbury form, but I think that was a barrier trial there. It comes to town. I think it's got a little bit of ability, so it's going to go on top for me, but it's a watch and learn race. Pardon me. The third is a 2,200 metre springs in the air. Benchmark 72, where we've lost a couple of key chances. What are you left with again here? Can you possibly entertain this favourite?
I can't entertain the favourite, just at the price, and it's just one of those horses. I hate the race. It's not a race that I really want to be betting in. I've gone for Wangahui, and I think it can run well, just purely the McDonald Waller combination, and it has ran some okay races in better class than this. But I thought one at a price, Niota, double figure odds, can run well. It finished pretty close behind One Felicity, who didn't perform too bad recently, and that may mean that it can figure in the finish here.
I hate the race, not betting. Would have been very keen on Shadow Park had it have been here. The fourth is a benchmark. I'm very good at tipping scratchings today. Apologies to that, everyone. The fourth is a
You
mile.
won't lose on them, mate. That's a good
Exactly. It's a
thing.
nice change. For a mile, benchmark 72 is up next. And I do like this leader here, Hollywood Hero. Went to a Saturday race and was pretty good leading it up there. Once they got past him, he wasn't knocked about either. So I think comes back, gets control, runs well here. Lolly Eats gets on its back and is the only real danger.
Same. I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think its form this time in's been pretty good. It was sixth last start, but that was behind a horse that's going well and in Saturday class. And prior to that was pretty good, close up behind a horse that's flying at the moment, Ivan's Hero. I think this sets up nicely.
Beautiful. The fifth is a benchmark 72, 1,300 metres. Who have you found?
Yeah, I like the resumption of Orzala. Thought that was a pretty good run first up, and I think with that run under its belt, we'll trim a bit fitter for this. Gets out to the 1,300, only lightly raced, and has had enough trials prior to its first start to run well, and his gate force perfect.
Nash will get outside of home here. I found the two main ones in the market, and one's going to be leading with Nash Rawiller, a horse that hasn't necessarily got home, but he'll make sure he lifts it over the line. It's on top from Coriolis, who now is starting to, all bar that one win at Sandown, some of that form's now feeling a little bit hollow.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely a chance, but I've just it's going to be back and last, and it's going to have a job to do. Also, I want to see this O'Shea thing perform in town before I get excited about it, but definitely understand that there's upside there. The six is a 1,300 metre benchmark 72, and when Kokoro resumed last time in town, it was heavily backed, and it bolted in at Kenzo. I've made the mistake a few times recently of not backing the best horse because it's had the apprentice on, and I think here it just fits really well. Fresh trials are fine, and maybe Fresh is best for this horse. I'm going to back it around the $6 mark. It's on top from Silvanito, who does have upside, gets Nash, and the right run. They're the two main ones. Win, chat, or lead, and give you a sight if you're so inclined.
Yeah, look, I got down to two. I settled on Capital Asset at double figure odds here. I think third up now. Gets to peak fitness here. It was a good run behind Win Chat last start. I think it'll improve a lot on that. And now to 1,300 won't hurt. Ran on nicely there. Main danger Win Chat, as you said. I think it can lead them up and be hard to run down. Good little race, but I went for a little bit more value here.
Beautiful. This last is a 72 again, over 1,100 metres. How are we going to finish off the Warwick Farm card?
Yeah, a little bit of a tricky race here. I've settled on Lavish Empire. Resuming here. It was a good win before spelled in a fairly good quality race with some decent horses. Resumes in similar quality here. Drawn nicely enough. I think it can run really well.
It's funny on Lavish Empire. I'm pretty keen on it, but it's now gone Newnham to Snowden, and it's either going to blow these away or it's never going to win another race. Because I haven't seen the Snowden camp improve a horse in freaking 5 years. And it's got a feel that it could just turn to one of these geldings that just never wins again and goes round and round. But I do think it's on talent the best horse. I'm going to back it today, and it could well be last chance. It might sound really weird, but it's just a feeling I've got.
Only chance, you mean?
Only chance, yeah. From Nikolai Beagle, not kicking off at 1,000, but over the odds here. This is a horse that's run well in sprints on a Saturday, and this isn't a strong race. Has some metro form and is double figures. Going to make that the main danger. Good little card. I'm going to ask you your best and value for progretracing.com.au.
Yeah, my best comes up in race 4, number 1, Hollywood Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to beat. And my value bet comes up in race 6, number 4, Capital Asset.
I'm going to make my best. I want to go Hollywood Hero 2 now. I've lost Shadow. Well, actually, my best going to be race 7, number 4, Lavish Empire. Let's go all in on this and find out. And my value is race 6, number 2, Kokoro, at around the $6 mark. We get down to Sandown, where it is cloudy, soft, and possibly some rain around. The rail moves to the 5 metre mark. Should play fair enough at Hillside. Don't have any fears about too much track bias on this track. We kick off with a 1,300 metre maiden, Beaver, and I'll let you open the batting.
Yeah, keen on number 3, lot 1 here. Resuming here, only given the one try to date, and I thought that was pretty good. Started favourite at Sandown almost 12 months ago now, but has trialled 3 times for this, and all trials were quite good, winning its last trial quite nicely. Other than the fact that it's been given time here, I think it can run well and got it on top.
I think there's 2 main hopes. You've mentioned one of them. The other one's Rackerman. The form round, it looks good. Trials were good, and I'm going to go early in the day with Craig Williams taking the map advantage and taking this to the front and making it the horse to get past from lot 1, who, as you said, trialled really well, including against Amenable, who came off the trial against it and won a Saturday race. So I think there are 2 main hopes in a nice little way to start the day. The second is a 64 over 2,400 metres, and I was really impressed with what Wanjuru did last time. That was a long run, took off early, hit the lead first time at the 2,400 metres this prep, and then fought off all the challenges. It's now had that 2,400 metre run, keeps a claim for Lafferty, and it's going to run well here. And I'm just going to prognosticate that I don't think the form coming out of any of those Melbourne Saturday highways or midways or whatever they're called down there is going to be any good, which is what Bond Street Bow comes out of. And I'm just going to take it on. If I can get $5 Wanjero, I'll be a happy man. Main danger, Jukila, who comes out of a proper Saturday race and can run okay here.
I think you're right. I think that's not a bad price for a horse that's won last start, and many of these haven't won for some time. It was a good long run, and prior to that, it was pretty good. It was around the money, In the last 4 starts, it's had a win, 2 seconds, and a 5th that wasn't that far off on its Sandown in a similar race to this. Actually beat the horse that won that day at its last start. So the further they go, maybe the better it is, and hard to beat.
The third is a 1,400 metre benchmark 64. Who's on top for you?
Yeah, good little race here. There's 4 horses here that are all in the market and all won their last start, or with sort of different form lines. I've settled on Global Pivot from the Waterhouse Bot stable. I think it can run well. Which should lead them up here, and will be the hardest to get past. Has some form up in Sydney. Went down to Melbourne, won first up. If it continues to progress, hard to beat.
With the scratching again, I'm starting to get the stage where if you see Gay bring a horse to Sandown, just don't think, just bet. And that's what I'm going to do here with Global Pivot. You're getting an each-way price still, and it's going to lead with Geordie Childs, and they have to beat it. So it's on top, and the only player I want to have in the race. Keen to follow Chilla Krug, whoever it goes next, because it is a more talented horse than the midweek grade. The fourth is a 1,300 metre benchmark 70. I'll let you talk about this favourite.
Yeah, look, I think it'll be winning this. Started fave last start and put him away pretty easy at Caulfield. Coming from midfield, was well spec'd, and this just looks the same setup. Gate 4 gets the perfect run, and just a clear on pick for me.
Yeah, this is a horse. This horse can go to a Group 3 mares race and be more than competitive. It's better than this. 2 times it's had clear air in Australia. It's bolted in. Went back to a trial, bolted that in too. It'll win this and go into better stuff. The fifth is a 1,300 metre benchmark 64, and I want to play 2 at an each way price here. The first is Baroque Road, who came back down from some proper Sydney races, used that to springboard to get a win last time out. It's going to roll forward. It's going to have control of this race for Jamie Mott, and it's $5. It's on top from me. And no, that's about it, actually. I've lost Coast Princess as well. That'll do me. An each-way play on Baroque Road. I could almost even entertain an each-way play at 50s on Darcy Andermeal. I just think this bush form for Struck Gold isn't as strong as it's being made out to be, Beaver.
Yeah, maybe not, but I still think it's better than these. If you go back to start, it trialled really well. So it came from New Zealand, had a nice run there in a maiden, then came and trialled and won a nice trial. First up as a maiden at Echuca, absolutely brained him, led, was too good. Then I had to step from maiden to benchmark 64, which is not easy to do. Started favourite and had the wide gate and was midfield and ran on nicely for that over the 1300. I think it'll be even further fitter for this. Gate 7 looks to probably get the right run here. I think it's probably better than these. I got it on top.
Yeah, and that's fair too. We've got up next a, whatever this is, 64. 64 over the mile. Sirius Black was ducking and weaving and trying to get through late there last time out from the inside gate. Is it the day it atones, Beaver?
I think so. I'm pretty keen to go bang, bang, bang on these three favourites. Red Morning, Struck Gold and Sirius Black. I think they'll all be winning and giving you a bold sight on top for me.
It's on top for me too. I hope Ethan Brown can push forward from that gate. If it takes up a spot, it can beat these. From the Creator, who is now third up, ran well last time, might get a softer lead than stuck outside there last time out. The 7th is a benchmark 70 over the mile. And I liked what Duvac did coming to town last time. Had to sit outside lead. It was quite brave behind a horse that is probably better than I gave it credit for in Bow Rap. And we'll go another one to go into some Mares Black type. I think this can match up too. Getting to another second run at the mile. It's going to run well here with a cozier running line run. It's on top from Rick's Cafe. It wasn't too bad. They're resuming in town on a Saturday with Gets Carleen and is an each-way price. I may even save on it the more I think of this, but they're the two I'm keen to play around.
Yeah, I've got two to play around as well. Rick Cafe is one I am going to save on. I think you're right. I think that was a good first up run. I'll be improved by that. I'm going Dunalley. Been pretty consistent this time in. One last start here at Sandown-Lakeside over the 1500, and that was a pretty good run. Finishing that off quite nicely from midfield. The extra 100 won't hurt, and its form this time in is pretty good. And prior to that, it was only a few lengths behind Presser, who went to the city and ran really well, and they've got a bit of a wrap on. So I think its form lines are pretty good, and it can run well in this. It'll be each way all day.
And we're going to finish off in the last, as my mouse dies. It's very handy at the time. 1400 metre benchmark 70. Shock 'em Over was good in town its last couple of starts. Good trial since. It actually ran second in town and pulled up with EIPH. That's a fair effort. It's going to resume here and win this race. I am scared of the other one in the market, though. Speedtail, the two times it's had clear air in the last couple of starts. It has bolted in, albeit on the synthetic, but it looked to be travelling quite well and just never got a crack at them the time it did go to a Saturday race. I think there's a long tail here. These are both better than midweek grade, or better than 70 grade anyway, and can bounce off this and go to some Saturday stuff down the road. But Shock 'em Over on top for me.
Yeah, same. I see the money's come for it this morning. It's been backed into favourite. When I did the form earlier, it wasn't, so that's a good sign for me. I think it can run well here, nice and fresh over the 1400. Probably looking to further this as this prep goes on, but potentially a horse with a bit of ability.
Good, not a bad betting card at Sandown. I like when we get these sort of talented horses all lining up for us on a Wednesday. Who's your best, or who are you keenest on across the card? Maybe is a better question.
Yeah, my best bet is race 5, number 5, Struck Gold. I've gone for it on top, and my value bet comes up in race 7, number 2, Dunalley.
My best is our Red Morning at race for number 5. A little bit of a cop-out, but it will win today. And my value is... and the backup is Sirius Black. It'll run well, just for sake. Give me another one. My value is now the Gay Horse. Race 3, number 7, Global Pivot. Give you a nice each-way sight. Very quickly, what have you got for us in Queensland?
Yeah, in Queensland, I've got race 4, number 2, Hadouken. Race 4, number 9, Parallel. Hadouken is the favourite, sorry. Had my notes wrong there. I think it'll be hard to beat. Then moving on later in the day, race 6, number 5, Bubba's Bay. I think it'll be hard to beat. And race 7, number 1, Anna Cure.
How'd Anna Cure resume? Is that its first up, or did it come back later?
First up here.
Cool, yeah. Hard to beat. Nice horse.
Gone to the O'Day Hoisted stable. I think it's going to be hard to beat. Got a bit of ability.
That could be a horse to follow over summer up there. You can put some...
I think so.
Anyway, thank you, Beaver. I know you got to go. So good punting this afternoon. Thanks, punters. We'll be back Thursday night to look at the first Group 1 of the year in Melbourne, the Memsie Stakes, as well as some good racing from Sydney. We're well and truly into spring, so stick with progetracing.com.au and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.